Alright, so with Dune Messiah, aka Dune 3, released in theaters at the end of next year in 2026, and with everything that we know surrounding this upcoming sequel, especially for we last left off Paul Atreides, especially with the world of Arrakis, for what he's going to be up towards, especially with the war that's about to become raged, and Paul is going to have a lot to handle, and especially for what's at the groundwork. But now, with the biggest news, I totally blew everyone's minds and got everyone excited, and that is Robert Pattinson is officially joining Dune 3, and that's right, who is Batman, the Twilight guy. But now, in this video, I'm going to break it down what kind of character he could be playing, either a villain role or someone related to Paul Atreides, and with everything that we can expect for the upcoming third Dune movie. So let's break it all down right here, right now. And so, if you're new, then be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss on any future bits. But now, let's hop right into it. And now, I'm going to be starting off by talking about where we last left Paul Atreides in Dune Part 2. And so for where we last left off is that with Paul that claimed his marriage to Princess Irene, that was Florence Pugh's character, and with Janie, who left him and departed on that sandworm. That's what that final shot was, because especially with the story of Dune Part 2, that was a continuation of the first movie, because especially with every family member that is related to Paul that helped fight in the war, especially against the Harnigan, and even Paul that took on Austin Butler's character in the final act of the movie, and especially for what was setting up for everything, especially for Dune Part 3, aka Dune Messiah, because it's especially with Denis Villeneuve and his ideas for what he wants to adapt within the third movie, and I'm pretty sure this is the final time he's going to be working on the Dune franchise, because I'm pretty sure someone else is going to take over, especially for future sequels. So it is not done yet, because especially with Dune, it is not only a movie franchise, but also a book series as well. And especially, Denis' vision and work for what he has planted is, especially for how to make Dune Messiah even bigger. And even with everything that we know about the upcoming movie, that we know that Timothee, Chalamet, and Zendaya are returning for the roles as Paul and Cheney, and even with Anya Taylor-Joy as well, because especially in Dune 2, we saw Paul having a vision, seeing his sister in a dream sequence somewhere. Especially for where the story is going to next, because especially with Robert Pattinson that has now joined the cast. That's right, because especially if you know his work, he is everyone's favorite actor, because especially as he played a young Batman, he was the Twilight guy. And even though with him joining this movie, and especially with the question being who could he play, because and even though that it's a most recent cast member announcement that has just joined this movie, they're starting production on this film very, very soon, that we have some idea for who Pattinson could be playing, and there's many possibilities. And now, it's especially because even though that there's one somewhere that he could be playing Sky Tail, who is gonna be the main villain of this movie, and setting up a murderous plotline against Paul Atreides. And even though I think that's perfect, because especially with the history between Robert Pattinson and Timothée Chalamet, they did do a movie together. So especially with Dune Messiah, and I think that could be the perfect crossover and the perfect reunion for these two. And even with Skytail, which I think is a very fascinating character for Pattinson to take himself on, because especially if you know Robert Pattinson's filmography, he's took on tougher roles, because especially after Twilight, and even for how he got to playing Batman and to playing all these other roles, I think he is ready to take on a more serious role, especially in this world building universe that Denis Villeneuve has created. Dune Messiah is gonna be planning to be bigger, and Paul Atreides is now the Emperor, now that he's taking on a more bigger role. And for what we can expect going into Dune Messiah, that this is going to be taking place 12 years after the first movie, with Paul Atreides that has now become Emperor, and especially all the consequences and all the conspiracies that is going to be against him, because now for what everything has been created, especially with this war that has now begun, especially with the other great houses, and especially with the Atreides legacy that is somehow in trouble, and now they're planning to go to a much more bigger scale. And now, and even though, like, especially with the fans of the novel know what the story is, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be packed to much more storytelling, and especially with the adaptation from Frank Herbert, as going to be adapting from that storyline, and with every point and like Easter eggs, because especially where Pattinson's role is going to be coming into play, because I'm pretty sure he won't be a villain for just one movie. I think he'll definitely play a Skytail for like multiple movies and in future installments, because especially with Robert Pattinson plays and like a big movie sequel franchise, just like with Dune. I'm pretty sure my fans are going to show up to this movie day one, especially with the fangirls of Robert Pattinson. But I have mixed feelings towards the first Dune, but even with Dune Part 2, which I liked, I thought it was visually incredible, especially with the layout and the VFX were like so damn cool, especially for what Villeneuve has adapted, especially in IMAX. But I'm pretty sure with everything that was set up at the end of Dune 2, and now going to play a big role in Dune Messiah, like Paul is going to have everyone by his side, especially for his sister, and now with Channing now coming back, and especially with Duncan, and especially I think like there's like a cloned version of him, like, and that explains of how Jason Momoa is going to be coming back into the third movie. But I'm just pretty much do know that this movie is going to be bigger than we ever thought, and I think we're going to be in for a treat with this movie. And I liked Dune Part 2 because it definitely explored more of Arrakis and Paul Atreides for what he has to do in order to step up to protect his family, because especially with like the real threat of the Harnigan, and that we're coming to spread war. I am so excited for Dune Messiah. It's on my most anticipated list for 2026, and we're having big movies coming out that year. And I just pretty much do know that I think Dune 3 is about to be even a more bigger movie. And now that Robert Pattinson is officially joining, I mean, bring it on. I mean, oh man, like Pattinson is definitely going to be facing a type of a bad guy against Timothee Chalamet. It's going to be one heck of a movie to be looking forward to. I think like, yeah, Pattinson's character shouldn't be like a one and done. He should be playing it for like multiple movies. And even though I love Robert Pattinson's work and him being placed in this movie, and I think we can look forward to so much as we head into Dune Messiah, because even though everyone thought that this was going to be the last movie, but no, I mean, Villeneuve said that he's going to be handing off the mantle of the franchise to like another director and complete like these movies. There's going to be more stories to tell ahead for the world of Dune, Arrakis, and even the upcoming Dune Messiah as well. But that's going to do it for this video. Just let me know in the comments below, and how excited are you for Dune Messiah, and what are your thoughts on Robert Pattinson being added to Dune 3, and what do you think he could be playing? Could he be playing a villain or someone else? Just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe and turn on notifications about future videos, and you'll also follow all my social media. It's all linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.